everyone, welcome back to art. This week we're going to be doing an exercise where we create 3 different types of a contour line drawing. A contour line drawing is a drawing where you use a line to show the edge or edges of an object. It's kind of like drawing the outline of an object. So here are a couple examples of contour line drawings. You can see they're just made with lines that outline the edge of the objects on the outside and then some of the inside edges if they're made of more than one piece. There's not any shadows or shading. There is not anything colored in. It's just a line that shows the outline edges of the object. So we're going to be making 3 different types of a contour line drawing. The first one is just like I showed you up there. It's just called a contour line drawing. So for this one, I need you to pick an object. I'm just using these pair of scissors because they were next to me on my desk right here. You can use any object that you have with you, but I want you to be looking at the object. Don't use an object that you can't see. I don't want you to just imagine it. I want you to actually be looking at it. So I'm looking at my scissors. And then this week, this is not really an artwork that we're going to keep working on. This is more of an exercise or practice. So I'm just going to be doing it on a whiteboard. You can also do it on a whiteboard or any paper that you have that's not the construction paper I gave you. Save that for when we do our more final version of this project. Lined paper is fine too. So for my contour line drawing, I'm going to be drawing the edge or the outline of these scissors. So I might take a second to look at that first. I'm looking at the shape because the outline will show the shape. I'm noticing that I would have to outline this too because this is an edge, even though it's not an outside edge, it's an inside edge. I see I would need a line right here that shows the edge of where these 2 pieces come together. I would need to draw this circle that's the edge of that plastic piece, and I can kind of see the edge of one blade of scissors and the other edge peeking out. So after I've looked at it and I've noticed those things, now I'm going to draw it on my whiteboard. And I'll try and scoot this over so you can see my scissors too. Alright, so I'm starting, let's go this way. I think I'll start with one piece at a time here. So I'm kind of looking, I'm looking on here. As my eyes are moving along the scissors, my hand is moving along the drawing. The nice thing about the whiteboard, if it doesn't look like you have it right, you can just erase it with your finger. I'm trying to do it without erasing right now. So I've got that circle. I'm not going to be showing the colors. So I'm not going to be like coloring this in red and yellow. I'm just focusing on the edges. So I know you can't see my eyes right now, but what I'm doing is I'm looking slowly with my eyes around the edges. It's almost like my eyes are like a little ant crawling along the edge. And as they crawl along that edge, my hand moves down this paper. All right. So you can see it didn't take me too long. It's okay if it's not perfect. I see a little things that maybe I would change if I was going to make a final one. But here is my first contour line drawing. It's just called a contour line drawing. I showed the edges or the outline of an object that I was looking at. I'm going to do my 3 drawings on 3 separate whiteboards just so I can do a bigger for you to see. You could do all 3 on one whiteboard. Or on 3 different papers, all 3 on one paper. It doesn't really matter to me as long as I see all 3. So number 1 was a contour line drawing. Number 2 is still a contour line drawing, but this one is going to be what's called a blind contour line drawing. What that means is I'm still making the contour line drawing, but I'm not looking at what I'm drawing. I can look at my object, but I cannot look at my whiteboard when I'm doing it. So this is going to be tricky, and it's probably not going to look just like your object, and that's okay. It's kind of fun. I think it's kind of fun anyways to look at afterwards and see if you got it close or if you didn't. Sometimes it can kind of look silly, and that's all right. So trying to think how I can do this. I think I'll do this one on this whiteboard so you can see that I'm not actually looking at it when I'm drawing. Okay. Although I can see it on the camera. Okay. I'm not going to look at the camera. I'm just looking at my scissors, and I'm going to be drawing behind me over here. So I'm looking at the scissors like I was doing before, where my eye is going along the edge. I'm trying to guess where I drew to put that circle. I don't know what I'm drawing, so I don't know if it's in the right spot. I'm just looking at my scissors. Okay, I have everything. Oh, all right, so I can see I didn't get it quite in the right spot, but hey, that's not too bad without looking at it, right? So this was my blind contour line drawing. And the purpose of this is not to make a great looking drawing, right? I obviously can draw my scissors much better when I'm looking at what I'm drawing. But it is helping my brain to make connections when I'm drawing without looking at it. It's making me focus with my eyes a little bit more on what I'm looking at as I try to recreate it without looking. So the purpose of this one was not to make a great looking drawing, but it's just some practice to strengthen our drawing skills and our thinking and noticing and observation skills. So number one was my contour drawing. I was drawing just the edges and the outlines, and I was able to look at it. Number two is my blind contour drawing. I was still drawing the edges and outline, but I was not able to look at my drawing when I was doing it. And now I'm ready for, let's scoot that away. Now I'm ready for the third kind of contour line drawing, and this one is called a continuous contour line drawing. So for this one, I'm still drawing the edges or the outline of my shape, but the word continuous means it keeps going. And by that, I mean I am not allowed to lift my marker up as I'm drawing. So when I did this one, I drew this one shape, and then I lifted my marker up before I drew that circle. This time, I have to do it without lifting my marker up. But I am able to look at both the object and my whiteboard. So I'm going to do it on this lower whiteboard. So just like before, I'm using my eyes to follow along. But I know I won't be able to lift my marker up to do that circle, so I'm just going to have my line continue to that circle and then come up. See how I didn't lift it up? It's going to continue to show this one. Then I'm going to come over here. So come down. So I'm never lifting my marker up. Even if it means I have to add a couple extra lines that aren't there, I'm not lifting my marker up. All right. So this one looks similar or very close to my first drawing, but if you look closely, you can follow that line without ever stopping. So there's a couple extra little pieces that weren't really on my scissors, but that's okay. This was the continuous line drawing. That's it for this week. So just as a review, you are picking an object. I chose scissors. You can pick any object, but you're just picking one object. And you're drawing it 3 times with 3 different versions of a contour line drawing. The first one is just the regular contour line drawing where you are showing the edges and the outline of your object. You can pick your marker up and you can look at it as you're drawing. So regular contour line drawing. The second one is what's called the blind contour line drawing. That means you can look at your object, but you cannot look at your paper as you're drawing. It's probably going to have some spaces or some things that don't quite line up, right? Like this circle was supposed to be over here, but I couldn't see where I was drawing, so it was a little bit off. The third drawing I want you to do is the continuous line drawing. This means you can look at your object as you're drawing it, but your marker or crayon or pencil, whatever you're using to draw, should never be lifted off the paper until you're done. So when I see this one, I'm going to be looking, and I'm going to try and follow your line and see if you did it without lifting up your pencil. When you show me your drawings on Schoology, I need you to tell me which drawing was which. So you need to say, "Hi, Miss Bruce, this is my contour line drawing, this is my blind contour line drawing, this is my continuous contour line drawing." And if you want to show me what your object to, you can. All right, next week we're going to take this a step further on a new paper, and I can't wait to see your contour line drawing, your blind contour line drawing, and your continuous contour line drawing.